What up, y'all? Back for another audio occasion, the podcast for self-starters and those willing to make the most out of any situation. EFS podcast is back, and we are here to open things up with a very profound piece of audio as we get to 2025. Let's get it.
That you're going to be passive with your own and just put it on.
Wait, let's run that back from the top.
You mean to tell me that you're going to be passive with your own and just put it on your story once? Are you fucking crazy, bro? I'm still promoting my album that came out in June.
Don't let that go over your head.
Out, and I'm still out here like, call me if you get lost, like, right? And what I notice is that some of these the younger guys and girls, they like, oh yeah, I got a song out, and they forget about it. And I'm like, no, let motherfuckers know. Tell people.
Facts.
When I first put the perfume out, dude, I had bags of the sample. Just walking up to people like, hi, I'm Tyler, I made this, because I put time and love and too much energy into this finished project just to put it on Instagram and forget about it. Like, no, promote your, let people know, be proud of that you made.
One more time, let that sink in on the way in. Sell. That's what I took from that, you know.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
You know, keep turning that wheel and keep pushing. This game ain't about who's the strongest. Sometimes it's about who lasts the longest. As you grind this thing out. Pause on the way in. But with that said, back for another episode. We got episode number 4-5 on them. When we come back like Jordan, we're in the 4-5. It ain't to play games with you. It's to aim at you.
Hey, there we go.
Round of applause for the game back in the house, y'all. Episode number 45 is here. I am here, your host, Mr. D. Burke, the man, the myth, the legend himself from EFS, the illest brand that you don't know about yet. And I'm back with the man, Waldo Black, to my right side.
Hey.
Waldo
Speaking
Blizzy.
of repping your brand and talking about what you rap,
Take
you know
your
what I'm
Tyler's
saying?
word,
You know what I'm saying?
sell.
Heartstrings is out and
all
still
heavy.
available on Spotify and all streaming platforms. Your boy Waldo to
You
the
heard.
No
You
listen.
heard.
No
Big talk
listen.
right there. Now to what's his left? I'm bad with directions. We got my man Drew Foster's Philly Special.
Yes.
NFC East champions.
Yes, 2024. Full steam ahead.
The NFC East champions. I can't say shit because the Giants is trash, but I'm gonna show love because they dominated all season.
We might get Travis or Shador, you know what I mean?
Shador had the Nike joints on, the Giants joints. You seen them?
I'm saying
Y'all saw that?
we might make
got the
that.
cleats.
We might come out of this better than we
I was
think.
just having a conversation about him. Well, either him or the other homie Cam. So we'll see.
We'll see what's up. I'm just putting it out there, you know what I mean?
Because he did just break the record for all-time yards for a quarterback. And,
Really?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my son from Miami. So
Maybe I wear my
Cam
Colorado
Ward.
jersey. I
Cam
got
Ward.
what's the name, John?
Cam Ward, he just broke the record. Single season.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at it either way if we get either one of them. So all I'm saying is the future of the New York Giants quarterback situation should look a lot brighter with this next draft pick we got.
They need a quarterback. We need a quarterback.
And I heard Shador is now open to going to the Giants because it was reported before that Desean and him was going to step all over that, which Desean said he wasn't going to step all over that, you know, so I'm mad he's not going to step all over that.
New York is beautiful. New York is beautiful.
Nah, but what they were saying was they don't want to go to a bad organization, you know.
Yeah, the organization
The
is
front
bad
office
right
and
now.
all that
Yeah,
shit
it's bad.
matters.
It's bad right now.
First few years of his career, you know.
Damn.
But, you know, we'll see.
Not even January. We're planning for next season already.
Oh, yeah, facts. It's over. Y'all got it.
Yeah, you over
Y'all
there.
got it.
Your grass is greener
I'm like-
because you're
I'm
the
like,
Eagles.
This sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it is.
It
It is.
does. It's
Definitely
very
is.
personal.
Go sit over there somewhere.
I take that shit very personal. Trust me. It's
What's your 2K say?
yeah,
Okay?
go
We got-
draft one of them niggas, man. Stop
Yeah.
playing with me and get the quarterback situation right.
Shit, might need both.
Yeah, depends.
Like when they had RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Man. But yeah, nah. Shouts to y'all though. Y'all got your shit done. Saquon got the 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
2,000 yards. Shouts to him.
Earned them too.
Shouts to him. Round of applause for that, man. Comeback story of the NFL season, I think.
2K say.
I think the comeback story of the NFL season. I don't really see nothing else touching the run that he's been on this year off of the tumultuous last few years he had with my team. So
Yeah,
you know,
tumultuous is
shouts to
understandable.
that man, young brother, doing great things out there. We're gonna see what the
Wild.
MVP say. Yeah, he probably don't get MVP out there at this point. They ain't even really mentioning his name like that no more.
I know now Joe Burrow's like kind of sneaking in
Joe
there.
Burrows.
I know,
but the numbers is crazy for
they
Joe
are,
Burrows.
but the record is also
the
crazy.
numbers is
for
crazy for Joe Burrows. Win, lose, or draw, like his numbers is stellar this season.
There's all the candidates really are all deserving if you look at the numbers because they're all like video game stuff. But
yeah, it's nuts.
it can only be one.
His yardage is stupid.
I don't know. I'm always gonna say Saquon. And
They could do a co-joint. They've done a co-joint before when
They're
they
not
had.
doing codes.
They should though. Like this year's crazy though.
It is crazy, but I don't think they're doing codes.
This I think is more probably when they did do the co-year when they had Steve McNair and Peyton Manning.
I think Josh Allen got it. If I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, if you're talking about doing the most with the least.
And then just the record,
That's what I'm saying.
the
eye test that we talk about all the
What's
time.
the NFL? They do voting.
Huh?
They do voting. And there's like a select group of people who do voting. How's that?
I think it's the same as like,
is it like the NBA
the
where
media
it's
type
like,
stuff.
Yeah, it's all those people.
I know. Like NBA has like you got 25% from the fans, and then 25% there, then media, then like there's like.
I think the NFL shit mimics kind of close to what the NBA shit does. To my knowledge, I don't know the specifics of it.
There's a There's a fan vote for the MVP and NBA.
I don't think so.
I was gonna say I think it's like press, GMs, and like
press.
coaches.
Let me just go ahead and just look it
league,
up
and
now.
then it's it's
I'm
all
like,
the people with
damn.
press, like the votes. You got to be a certain specific press person.
I know the
to earn
All Stars
votes for that
fans and
shit.
stuff.
Yeah, All Stars.
Maybe I'm confusing the two.
Yeah, but the NBA, I don't think that's not fans for that.
Oh,
But,
okay.
But either way, yeah, we got off on a tangent early. That's crazy. But yeah, now we'll get to it out the gate with our sports. We stay in sports more or less. On a somber note, we gotta say a rest in peace to Greg Gumbel. Just passed away. What was that? Yesterday or the day before? Yesterday or the day before? My days run together. It's crazy.
Saturday.
What does it say?
It says MVP voting in the NBA conducted by a panel of sports writers, broadcasters from the United States and Canada, along with one fan vote. So it's like fans participate by voting online, and their collective vote counts as one ballot.
Oh, all right. So they don't get that much say in it.
I'm just saying it is fans.
No,
This
but
is,
I didn't know that portion of it.
One electoral vote.
Right,
Yeah,
right. Some shit like that. Regardless, though, as we were saying, rest in peace to Greg Gumbel. You know, just passed away most recently over the last couple of days. We just reported. Long life, long legacy of sports commentating, broadcast, all that other good stuff. Yeah. I don't think there's nothing he hasn't broadcasted on the sports event side.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I'm talking about baseball, like everything. The Olympics back in the day. I didn't even know he did the Olympics back in the day until recently when they gave him his little tribute and all that, the video tribute. But great career for someone in the broadcast space and someone that, has paved the way for many of us who kind of do this shit now and get to talk about shit on sports and other different topics now from our studios, living rooms, wherever the hell you want to set your microphones up at. But yeah, definitely a GOAT in the game. Rest in peace. Prayers to his family and everyone close to him and everyone that knew him as a friend, et cetera, et cetera. Just want to pay our respects to the legend. Watched him very often throughout my life, on TV. But again, long life. 80s, it's hard to turn your nose to a negative side when it comes to a long, fulfilled life, And hopefully, I don't know all his personal business or anything like that, but seemingly lived a long, great life. And, at some point, we all going to pass from this world. So just want to pay him respects on the way out. Rest in peace to Greg Gumbel and a couple of air horns one time for the legend himself in the sports broadcast game.
Yep.
Any words on that,
No, I think you really summed it up pretty well.
Yeah. I think they said he had 52 years in the business or something like that.
Yeah.
So the longevity is
Half a
crazy.
century is
And
nuts.
you think about it, like, that sounds a lot, obviously, but you, like, what's that, 52? So that's back to like 1970, maybe late 60s, which
Half a
you think
century
about
is
all
nuts.
the stuff you've endured and seen throughout sport. Like, that's a lot. So, I mean, for him to have that kind of longevity and be, like, successful in all levels of it, too, says a lot. And, like, that's, he's going to leave that legacy, which is what it's all about.
Beautiful legacy left.
No
Most
doubt.
definitely.
Shouts to that.
The whole Gumbel.
Yeah, I was gonna say his family. His family wide.
is
Yep.
just- They have a legacy of media and sports media specifically, but they've they've paved the way for many individuals like us and others who are in the space and talk about sports, and I am appreciative and grateful for that legacy. Hopefully we can live up to the mantle, man.
You said what?
Hopefully we can live up to the mantle that they set.
I mean, big shoes. Big shoes to fill. I ain't as polished as a lot of these other motherfuckers, but
I love how you said motherfuckers right.
Brick by brick.
Yeah. Take your time.
No doubt.
No rush,
We're
bro.
gonna keep
rush.
it true to the core. But it's a lane for that nowadays anyway. So,
facts.
Either way, shouts to Greg Gumbel, man. Rest in peace. Moving forward on the sports side of thing. Christmas time, holiday time. Damn, we ain't checking on the holiday. I think we all spoke about our holidays already outside of here.
Yeah.
If your holiday was great, it was great. If your holiday wasn't great, it wasn't great. Go through Christmas next year. Like the whole holiday check-in. I've been answering that question so much all week. Like, how was your holiday? I'm like, calm and expensive is what I keep telling everybody.
Calm and expensive.
Calm and expensive. I ain't do shit and I spent a lot of money. I'm like, that's all I keep saying.
Calm and expensive.
That's all I keep saying. But
it all depends. I'll be breaking the fourth wall too. I'll be like, do you really want to know, or are you just asking to be polite?
Yeah, nah. I ain't even get into it because I be socialed out around this time of year anyways. So when they ask us, I always say, my battery is burnt out here, Even so much that, okay, I ain't going to get into that. But either way, the NBA Christmas games was on. Did we watch? Did we partake in any? I know we just talked all that shit.
Those were good games. They had good games on that night.
They had some good games.
It was actually like the NBA felt like NBA, not like the 3-point contest.
I still felt it.
You still felt it?
Yeah, I mean, I watched. Obviously the
some
Sixers
of the games
one.
wasn't as good as others. I'd say that.
Yeah, they were. I feel like they were all pretty competitive. I didn't get to see the last one. My ass was knocked out, but. I watched the Sixers and Boston one, obviously, which...
Fire game. Tyrese went crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they won, but it was just a lot of dumb shit at the end that, kind of pissed me off.
You want to go in on Joel so bad?
Bro. Talk to me, bro. What made that game?
Go in on Joel so bad.
What had happened was, I'm like, you can hear the anger in the text, bro. I was, sweating while I was texting.
I was watching
just off
the game
anger.
like I know Drew sitting there watching this shit.
I had to ask him. I was like, are you watching, bro? Nah, so they're up 9 with... maybe a minute left, slightly under, up 9, right? All right, you got the game, but at the same time, the 3-point shot, the Celtics, chill out. He's waving to the crowd, talking shit, not in there to box out or whatever, just at the 3-point line talking shit while it's free throws. Then they come down and, they get them little gimme buckets when they up by a decent amount with a little bit of time. They get that little quick bucket, and you inbound and they got to play the foul game.
Oops.
So went from 9 to 7 because we just, gave up that little gimme bucket. Then they inbound the ball to Embiid. All of a sudden, he's a point guard and tries to literally AI crossover somebody. Completely loses the ball. No one touches it. Literally elementary, you cross and just don't get the ball. Goes right to a Celtics player, lays it up. Now we're up 5 with 40 seconds left maybe, and it's a game again. And it's just bro. And not only that, me being me these days, we were up 14 before him and Paul George got back on the floor with 5 minutes left. So I'm just, I'm seeing all the dumb shit he does, but I'm also taking note to this kind of shit too. And I used to watch NBA as a fan. Now I'm watching it analytically, to see what's going on, the scheme. I'm watching it way different now, especially with the Sixers. And it just took a lot of the momentum and steam out of the win because we had it locked in so many times, and his stupidity, specifically him, was what allowed it to really be a game to the very end.
So officially, Drew's on the Let him get that off,
Let it out, man.
Let that pain out.
You had a time watching that game.
He's officially on to get rid of Joel Embiid trade.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Where to?
I ain't too far behind.
And for who?
I ain't too far behind him.
I mean,
actually.
I don't know what rumors. I don't even know what you could get, but ideally, it's just bro, trading for Bam and Tyler Hero. Well, before that little scuffle last night, which we're gonna get into.
Ragdolls.
But for Bam and Tyler Hero, and let him and Jimmy Butler live happily ever after in Miami, and just just go with that.
I don't know if that would be the best. I
don't know what he's worth. You get 30 games out of the guy. I know what he is in those 30 games, but it's 30 games.
Bottom line is they ain't gonna get it done again this year, and you're gonna have to start talking at the end of the season.
It's not gonna get better with him.
Honest.
It's not gonna get better with him. It's not gonna get better.
So you're done trusting the process.
How long we gonna trust it?
I mean.
It's been a decade long.
let's be real.
Well, I guess Embiid is the process. He's the only person left. So yeah, no, I don't.
If you treat the process like a relationship with a woman, you'd have been left a long time ago.
If we're keeping
wait,
wait.
If you treat the process,
break that down for me. Though.
If you treat the process like the whole Joel Embiid experience like a relationship with a woman, you'd have left a long time ago.
Yeah, nobody's waiting 10 years. Nobody's waiting 10 years.
It's been like 10 years.
Ain't no like. It's been.
And in that 10 years, she has started cooking for you and then stopped all out of nowhere.
It's crazy talk right here.
Hold on, has she even started cooking, or did she just buy the fucking ingredients?
He was cooking. I mean, like literally on the court, then not playing. Was
the actual process cooking, or did we just buy the ingredients?
We bought the ingredients.
That's not true.
It looked like we bought the ingredients, and we was about to cook.
He came. She came that one year. She did really, really good. She bought you all the presents. You know, she made sure that you was fed, you was treated right, you was, taken care of in the bedroom and all the other shit. And then that was the MVP. Yeah, like that was the year. So she really tried hard that one year.
I'm not leaving her just
because she knew her shit was a little bit rocky. Then after that, she fell back into her same old habits, which is the regular bullshit that you was sitting there dealing with.
Let's just make it real easy. You have a woman that
or a relationship with a man, ladies. Sorry, I don't mean to make that sound misogynistic. Because
hold on, though. I'm trying to understand.
If you treat it like a romantic relationship, the 10 years or however long it's been.
Let's make it even simple, right? So you have a girl that just shows up for you less than half the time.
Facts.
Just put it the fuck that way. She shows up for you less than half the time over a 10-year period. I'm done. Like I don't even know how I went on this far. Like. It's like that.
Because other than that, you're just playing with potential, like the potential of what the woman can be.
Are you capable of getting to that potential?
After 10 years, you've shown that you're not capable of
this is who you are. This is who you are.
Than half the time. But if she has medical reasons for why she's not there, I'm not going to leave her.
Nah, I'm out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
People get left all the time.
People get left every day, B.
When the medical bills start racking up and then it's too much stress.
I wouldn't put a medical bill in the analogy.
I'm the only one on the couch that's married.
I wouldn't use the medical bill in the analogy.
I'm a little different. I'm the only one on the couch that's married.
We ain't say married. We said the process didn't mean we was married. Like you trust. You telling the fans trust the process.
I'm just saying. You're saying you're gonna leave her because she shows up half the time. But I'm saying if she has a medical reason,
I'm out.
For why she's not there, I'm not going to use that against her.
I wouldn't even have got to the point where I fell in love with her that crazy because the medical reasons would have stepped in the way early. I've been like, this is a little shaky.
He losing sight of the whole joint.
Because her medical reasons stepped in the first 2 years of your relationship.
And then not only that, what is the trophy?
He didn't play his whole first year.
What is the Larry O'Brien?
What a second year.
Or the second year.
What a second year.
What is the trophy in this scenario of the relationship or the analogy of the relationship? What's the trophy?
I was just throwing it out there.
Nah, I know. I was just trying to break it down.
A championship would be the trophy. Like
I know, but what is that equivalent to in a relationship? It's a hard analogy to follow
through. The ring.
Marriage, yeah.
The ring.
You're waiting for the ring?
No, when you prove you can get to the trophy, that's when you're worthy of the ring. Like that's when, as a fan, you should be married to this person as your star player.
So you're not even getting married to her unless she's healthy.
It's a trial period as a fan.
Unless she's healthy.
It's a trial period as a fan. Are you going to get it done for me as a fan? We like the team. We won a championship. And this is saying this not as a Philly fan.
Listen,
this is how fandom goes.
The ball rolls 42 degrees to the left. We're not even having this conversation. Sixers get a chip. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't that close. It was it's the second round. It wasn't that close to where everything else would have just fell in place.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wouldn't, but it had a nice little shot, man. I'm just gonna tell you that right there.
Having a shot and not is everybody got a shot.
There were still two more series that followed, which could have gone either way.
That don't mean they got it done then.
The butterfly effect. If that happens, KD probably don't get hurt. Or
your pinnacle of your playoff career is getting put the fuck out by Kawhi Leonard.
It is. It is. It is.
And that was years ago at this point.
It is. It was that was the peak of everything. And I don't even want to get started.
Well, my question is why are we so quick to give up on Embiid, but we not quick to give up on like a Iverson?
It's not quick. It's not quick. Yeah, it's not quick. But I mean,
in this conversation. I'm not saying in terms of the time.
Because AI was a dog.
Yeah,
AI
he showed up.
Gave his heart, soul, and blood, sweat, and tears.
And he missed practices too, and he had stuff outside.
So what?
That he was dealing.
What we talking about? The game? Or we talking about practice?
No,
what we talking about?
What we talking about? So I'm just saying, there's other layers.
Embiid, percentage of games available for versus all that other shit compared to AI, no fucking it ain't even close.
But he has medical reasons.
Okay,
some are kind of self-inflicted though, given how he plays too.
So now you mad at the way he plays too?
He plays recklessly, bro. You got he's always on the floor.
And on top of that, it don't matter because how many people in the NBA that got traded and moved to other teams and situations and stuff because their medical situation it didn't work for the team no more.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just asking questions.
Like
I don't have a dog.
Yeah, I know. I'm just fed up.
Aside from the fact that I think he's a dweeb, like, and he's like a prima donna, all these other shit. Aside from that shit,
that's what I'm trying to get to. The root of the problem.
I don't fuck with the person. I don't fuck with his personality, man.
What did he do to you?
He didn't do nothing to me. I just see certain shit in him that's like it bleeds through.
MVP, Olympic champion.
I don't care about that.
It's the mentality. He's not one of us. Like he's like Philly fit. Like in terms of like the city,
you can still be a lame.
He's not
achieve all those things.
He's not one of us.
So should he be a 1B instead of a 1A?
No, he's a 1A just for 30 games a year.
Oh, cool.
And for a team that's not going to win a championship,
exactly.
They can still win. You giving up, huh?
It's over.
You the Sixers fan here.
With him, I have.
I'm talking about with the team. You still
Tyrese and Paul? No, hell no. I'm not giving up on the team. I love Tyrese Maxey, and like I said, Paul George is like the 2024 Elton Brand at this point when we got him from the Clippers.
It's over for that team.
That's what it looks like for me.
You ain't talking about Boston and New York. You ain't talking about shit.
Maxey, here you go.
Just
you ain't talking about Boston and New York. You see the stat that came out? New York is the only team to have 40-point performances by 4 different players on a team. I think it was before January, whatever, but I don't give a fuck. I'm here for the wash down stats and all that other shit. You got 4 people score 40 this early in the season.
Yeah.
Like
2 of them went to Villanova, just so we're clear.
That's a fact. Shouts to the Nova Nation.
I know, obviously
y'all in college, but
Nova Knicks.
If you ain't talking about the New York Knicks right now, or the Boston Celtics, that matchup that I'm expecting to see it at this point in the finals. I mean, Eastern Conference Finals. Excuse me.
Cleveland's still number 1.
They still got to get past Atlanta.
Cleveland's still number 1
half the time.
Cleveland got some shit to prove.
You think they fool's gold?
Huh?
Didn't they fool's gold a little bit?
Fool's gold? I ain't gonna say fool's gold because I do like a lot about the team and the way they play.
But playoffs is a different.
Playoffs is a different story.
You're right.
Playoffs is a different story.
Yeah.
When them Knicks get to the playoffs after last year, I don't think they fucking around. And I'm not going. I'm gonna walk it back. That whole cat thing.
Okay.
The cat thing.
There it is.
The cat thing. I walk it back. I like it right now.
Now you like it
because he's rebounding.
Yeah.
He's averaging 13 rebounds a game.
Not 8. 8 last year, right?
Right. It's 8 point whatever. I think it's 13.5 or 6 right now. He's rebounding the ball.
Yeah.
So that's what that was the only thing you needed
Yes,
to see?
if you're a big nigga and you have that kind of height, ability, athleticism, and all that, go fucking rebound the ball. Like, I don't care about that shit. I don't care if you're a 7-footer. I like his grit
too. His grit. He's got that grit, that New York grit now too.
He got that cat.
That city bring it out of you.
He played the cat.
Bodega cat is what they call it now.
Bodega cat.
I'm telling you.
Bodega cat is
that city's a different energy.
Yo,
Bodega cat.
That city's a different energy. Outshining Jalen Brunson a lot this season too. So, and I know Jalen Brunson is like, he's just here for the wins, the victories, and all that shit.
Well, Mikal Bridges finally showed up, right? So he's
his jumper's coming around now. Yeah, that shit was iffy at first. This year, I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
More. You can
I remember how sexy you about that.
That turns your numbers. We got to
count
on.
We got to see if we can count on them. 41s versus 40. Or 25, 20, like, I got to see that consistently.
Yeah, any 40 pieces is impressive.
I think he just had to get his rhythm.
Of course. I'm not saying he's not capable, but at the end of the day, I need to see it with that roster, like, consistently. OG Anunoby's 40 to me was the most impressive one of the fucking season because all those other people should be able to drop 40 at some point, you think, with this NBA. But, Anunoby, scorer, but his primary role is a defensive player. Guard 1 through 5 on the fucking floor. So
him and Mikal, I wouldn't expect to get 40 to be honest. Like on
Mikal,
on the Knicks though, on the Knicks. I know if Mikal was like back on Brooklyn, he could get 40.
I mean, but they brought Mikal as that secondary scoring option, like really.
Yeah, he's supposed to be
wing option. I
would say wing because him and
outside of
Brunson and Cat.
Is Cat a wing? Is Cat a big? I don't know what the fuck you want to call.
Well, I think
Cat's a big.
Mikal and Anunoby are probably.
For me, he's a big.
But he shoots threes,
right? So I think Mikal is supposed to be their secondary wing scoring option outside of fucking Jalen Brunson.
Of course.
So
you think more than OG?
Yeah.
Okay. OG's a power forward.
Yeah. OG's
he is, but they still the same height. He's like 6'7",
on their
6'8".
team, on their roster, if you look at Mikal Bridges' role versus OG Anunoby's role, it's like whoever's like your primary defensive assignment, you sending that shit to Anunoby. Mm-hmm. And you don't want that to be the person you got to rely on every fucking game to score you 20, 25 because it takes a lot to play defense, especially in the NBA with this era where you can't touch motherfuckers. You can't do
you got to be in front of them. That's all you can do.
Right. So you're going to put your best defender on those matchups and not have to not expect him or have to be the one to rely on him to contribute 20, 25 a game. Not to say he's not capable because he scored 40. Not to say that, everybody can score 40 in the league, but You know, it is a feat to score 40 in the NBA, you know, and he can shoot the ball, he can penetrate, like he does all that shit, but he's primary defender. That's his role. So I think Mikal Bridges is a little bit more suited for that next scoring option. And I think early enough that we wasn't seeing it, so it was like you got to try to rely on other people around that too. So if Mikal wake his ass up, and then he can give you 18 to 25 on any given night like that, and everybody else keep doing what they're doing. Shit.
Yeah, because they got a similar skill set. That's why I asked.
Oh no doubt. Game is very similar enough. You know,
I know OG's a little beefier, and probably more down low with the post game.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how Tibbs is using them. Like, you know, and you put OG Anunoby on whoever's fucking hot. Like I've seen him put him on the fucking big man. Who the hell he was guarding the other night?
Houston, Sanguine, whatever his name is.
Yeah, nah, it wasn't that game, though. It was some game. He was guarding A5, literally. I'm just like, oh, you know, that makes sense for this scenario.
Yeah, they're a perimeter player, especially.
I was going to say,
might have been Wemby.
15th, they got
It was Wemby. It was Wemby, yeah. They had him guarding Wemby on Christmas.
Because he want to do all that three-point shit.
Yeah. I mean, you can't, anybody you put up against him, it's really not going to work. Anyway,
I know.
So
You're going to shoot over you.
Yeah. I was going to say, the 15th, they got the game, Sixers versus Knicks. Wells Fargo. We might as well go as all three of us.
15th to when? January?
January, yeah.
Well, they'll probably be cheap, and B's probably not going to play.
Nah, we can look at it.
Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone.
We can look at it.
January 15th.
I think that's just good. That's a good game.
I'm going to text you on the 15th and be like, told you. Watch.
Told you. Like, hopefully you're sitting next to me. We can sit at the game and just say told you.
Yeah, we could look at that.
Where's it at, Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
I'm down to do that.
I ain't trying to get jumped at the
I'm going to be in that area a lot, Drew. I don't know if I told you as a tangent, you know, you got your tickets to the K-Dot show?
Nah, but my homie just did for his B-Day, and
I got tickets now.
My lady told me, my lady says she getting tickets, but we gonna see.
I got tickets.
Man, enjoy yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not even
gonna Queen bought it for Christmas.
I'm not even gonna throw no hate or no shade.
There's been talk about me getting them. There's been talk about me getting them. If I get them,
I'm like the K-Dot show. My boy, I'm coming to see you May 5th.
We all gonna pull up.
It ain't gonna be in New York, but you know, we come check you out.
Where you at?
I'll be at the beach.
Huh?
You at the link?
I'm at the link.
Some beautiful water.
Let's go.
I'll be all right.
I'm gonna send you some vids, bro.
I'll be at the beach.
We in there.
Looking at the beautiful water.
We in there.
Cascading over the ocean.
You know, and when they drop that A minor, he better drop that A minor out there.
Hey, yo, what?
He better drop that A minor.
That sounded crazy.
Watch me, Kendrick at the. But either way, I'm off on a tangent. So NBA Christmas was dope, right?
Yeah,
it was good.
Did we feel like the NFL stepped on the vibe a little bit?
Not at all.
They tried.
They stepped on the vibe big time.
How?
Because they had games on the day on NBA Christmas, and you got people like Drew Holiday and LeBron James talking about Christmas Day as ours.
I feel like none of the games were good, in my opinion.
In the NFL?
What game was like, oh, I gotta watch this? None of them.
I mean,
they was watching.
The matchups itself.
The numbers was
the matchups itself was like I gotta like Texans. What was it? Texans, Ravens, and
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Like 24 million people that watched that shit.
Who did Chiefs play?
Chiefs played. God damn it! My memory is trash right now.
29-10. I know that. I can't remember who they played though.
Ravens
and Texans.
Chiefs. God damn. Yeah.
Anyway, they weren't competitive games, but on paper, they're going to draw people to, like, turn it on initially.
Nah, facts, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, the whole Beyonce thing, too. The Super Bowl halftime performance, and now where everybody's saying Kendrick got to step his shit up when he gets his show just because Beyonce smashed it. And
it was...
You ain't even got to say that. I already know what he about to do.
I hate people for
I already
that,
know what he about to do. They don't even need to say that.
Nah, I ain't going to say I hate, but that's whack. Like, stop stepping on people's moments.
Right, yeah.
You said what? You
said strongly dislike instead of hate.
Yeah, hate is a strong word. Nah, but either way, the NFL did their thing. The streams was right. Let's
look at the Jones here. Let me see.
They had very little in-service interruptions or broadcast interruptions, I'll say. So they got that shit together from the mic show.
Chiefs versus the Steelers.
Steelers, yeah.
Texans versus the Ravens.
On paper, yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a good game. That's supposed to be a good game.
Yeah. Turned out to just be not competitive due to injuries and a lot of stuff.
But I'm just saying, like, in terms of like me, I thought the games were mid.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could put the whole Beyonce. Yeah. Beyonce was here. Like I've seen Beyonce perform. Umpteen times. I don't. She has the whole team of people.
That's how I feel.
I just at this point, give somebody else a chance. Like I feel like
let the new people in.
I feel like
she's still out there.
Let me land for a second. I just feel like we've seen Beyonce, and I know the Beehive is gonna come for me. I'm sorry, Beehive.
Put a name on that bullet, Beehive.
Let me say this.
The views of Waldo Black.
I appreciate I appreciate Beyonce for what she means and what she is. But again, I feel like she don't really need it at this point. She's solidified in so many ways. I'm like, those platforms are great to bring out and let some people others share that spotlight for a change. I just feel like I've watched her. Like, I feel like damn near half my life. She was on Smart Guy. Like, I feel like I've been looking at Beyonce since Smart Guy, man. I was a young boy. Like, yo, Beyonce, you've been running this game. Like, you a hustler. You a hustler. You know what I mean? A female version of a hustler. You know, that was a diva. Mm-hmm. Okay, she's a diva. She's up there. But to me, it's similar to Mariah Carey's All I Want. I'm tired, yo. Yeah. I'm just tired of these old ass.
That's a big stretch.
I know. It's just the same.
All I Want for Christmas versus
I'm tired
Beyonce.
of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of Beyonce getting the platform. I'm just tired. I just want something. Like, you ever just eat something, the same thing over and over, and you're like, yo, can we just switch it up?
I know. We've seen enough,
put a little spice on it or something. Give me something.
I know. That's how we feel about LeBron.
I'm not even saying it's bad. It was probably good. I watched a little bit. I'm like, okay, I know what it is. It's Beyonce.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's fried Beyonce again.
It's LeBron James.
Oh, I knew you were gonna do that. I knew you were gonna do that. I knew you were going to do that.
For the 22nd year now.
I knew you were gonna do that.
The oldest player to
score. You talking about being a young bull.
I knew you were gonna do that.
The first player to reach this many minutes in the NBA.
But here's my thing. Here's my thing.
Dwight was a senior in high school when LeBron got in the NBA.
I know, right?
Come on, bro.
Look,
come on, bro.
If the talent wasn't there, I would agree with you. I'm not even saying Beyonce's talent was not there.
Beehive. Yo,
I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying Beyonce's talent's not there.
I'll bow out on this.
All I'm saying is,
I'll cut his mic off if y'all want me to.
You got a season to taste, right?
I got a button right here.
You got a season to taste. And at this point, there's a taste to it that I'm like, I just would like something else, personally. I'm not even saying, see, the difference between hating on it without having a premise or a point.
So you have a point. You like how LeBron tastes, more or less.
Pause. Pause. Hey, yo.
You got season to taste.
Nah, you good. You good on that one.
Season to taste.
You good on that. That's wild. That's a wild one.
That's a wild question.
That's a wild bar. That's a wild bar.
Listen, man.
Hey, yo.
22 years.
I'm off it. Listen, great job, Beyonce. You've been around
about as long as we've been watching Beyonce.
Great job, NFL. Do your thing. Appreciate it. I'm off, man.
Yo, y'all hilarious.
I know how to get him out of it. I know how to get him out of
it. Listen, I'm good. Hey, you know what? I said what I said.
All pause is due on that. You know,
that was your Craig and Day moment. I'm just sit here like I'm just sit here.
All pause is due on that.
I'm gonna need me a drink.
Y'all hilarious.
All right, man. Moving forward, man. Fuck the NFL and the Beyonce show and
NBA.
All that. Basically,
I didn't say that.
Christmas is for the NBA.
I ain't say it, Beehive. So
Christmas is for the NBA.
Don't come for me. Huh? He said what?
I said Christmas is for the NBA.
Christmas for the NBA. I did feel like I had a hard, like it was an internal struggle going back and forth. I'm like, this game's trash, but this game's coming on, so let me check this game.
I
gotta go.
What was the best game for NBA?
You ain't watch no NFL? I watched a little bit of the game.
Loyal to the soil.
I watched a little bit of the game for the Chiefs until that shit got out of hand. Then I bounced back and forth when the Ravens game was on. So.
What was the best game to you on NBA Christmas?
NBA side?
Yes.
The Knicks game was fire.
I was gonna say probably I like the Knicks game.
Knicks game was probably the best.
Knicks game was good. Wemby went off and the stars showed up and just the Garden on Christmas is just the thing.
I feel like Jokic was tired. He didn't want to be there, yo. I feel like he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, nah.
So
the last game and all that other shit.
Was
no,
tired,
no. They were the
last one.
They were the last one. That's one I didn't get to see.
So the Mavs was right after. Mavs was right before. Mavs was the second game, sorry.
Second game. And then it was the Sixers.
And man, Luka got hurt, so that shit was unentertaining.
Unfortunate.
And that's when I checked out.
And then it was
Kyrie
Lakers.
went bananas, so shouts to him. But
then Lakers Warriors was after.
Lakers Warriors was after that.
I did see that.
LeBron, like that. We want to talk about something I'm tired of seeing. Like that whole shit.
What?
You know,
that was a good game, though.
Steph LeBron. It was a good game.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
But now it's just like.
He's the only one I like to watch do that, though.
Watching these people play with is the thing now. That's the shit for me that's makes it less entertaining.
What you mean? Talk to me.
Who is Steph Curry really playing with right now?
Wiggins.
Yeah.
Like, who is he playing with versus who we used to seeing him playing with?
Kuminga, Wiggins.
Longevity shouts to all that shit, but when you playing with
Buddy there, yeah, let's not. I'm just saying, don't hit on Buddy Hill.
No, that was sarcasm.
Let's not hate on Buddy, bro.
He stunk it up for the Sixers. I don't even want to hear that.
Let's not hate on Buddy, bro.
This
came
is
a long way,
ditch
bro.
contract for Buddy Hill. He's done if he don't do nothing out here now.
I know, but all right.
They gonna get rid of him like all the other older niggas that they want to phase out of the league and all that shit if he does not perform well on this contract. Like,
I just appreciate Buddy Hill.
Yeah, because I think he signed a 1 year.
You watching Steph Curry play with the fucking the Whalers.
The Whalers is crazy.
Steph Curry and the Whalers right now.
Hold on, the AI team from this year.
Draymond is freaking wrestling moving niggas every single come on, bro.
He pulled them.
I know you've seen that.
Foul line. That was so crazy.
And try to act like they fouled
What you
him.
mean? What you mean?
He does foul the fuck out of people, bro. Like too much.
He's an enforcer.
No,
that's what he's supposed to do.
He thinks he's a wrestler.
It's like football
he thinks
shit.
He's a
It's like when you go to the court and it's a football player like throwing their fucking chest at you every time you try to drive past them.
Like, I feel bad for Steph, low-key. They started off well, and I was like, all right, well, maybe this may be the early hot start and Cinderella team type shit, or some shit where everybody reverts to the mean, and now we're looking at a team that's on the outs of the playoffs.
But they don't got what do they have? They don't have no money to make no moves, right?
They've been trying to get a star all fucking. They got Dennis Schroeder now.
Dennis, yeah, I forgot Dennis.
You're gonna have to give up somebody young if you want to get somebody like popping right now. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to wait for everybody to develop.
This is Steph.
Steph got to do the Tony Parker Hornets here. He got to do it. He might have to leave for a year just to do a year somewhere else.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Okay, yeah. That's
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Tony Parker was on the Hornets for 1 year and didn't do shit.
I wouldn't be mad at that on the way out.
I thought LeBron was gonna make that because they was like he was gone for 8 days. I thought he was gonna slide over to Golden State for a second.
Steph is still productive enough, in my opinion, where he could lead a team to the finals.
It's getting harder for Steph too, though. You could see it from the eye test.
You think so?
Yeah, like defensively too, especially.
All that running around and like that shit, it's getting harder.
Yeah, the enthusiasm on defense.
He still has the magic though.
No, he does. Yeah,
every great player does. But you can see
holistically though, like the enthusiasm on defense isn't there. Like he ain't playing the passing lanes like he used to.
Yeah,
never a lockdown defender, but like feasible. And now it's just.
I'm even just talking about the ability to score proficiently. Like
You think that's went down?
His stats went down.
I haven't seen his splits.
I'm not saying his stats went down. I'm saying you can tell it's getting harder. Like. You can see it's getting more difficult.
Yeah.
Because when you're in your prime, that shit, like, if you're on that level and that skill of elite level of I can score the ball, that shit is kind of easy. Like, not to say easy, like it's like everybody can do it, but you've mastered your skill and it comes a lot easier than the opponent's efforts on defense. But after a while, once you start getting older, shit get harder, bro. Like, it just gets harder.
Well, I think the game's guarded different, too, from when he first started getting off. Pause.
When he first started getting off, pause that, too.
Yeah.
But even still, now the way the game is played.
That's what I'm saying. But the way they guard the 3-point, like, damn near every three you make has to be, like, mildly difficult if it's off the screen. If it's off the dribble, unless you're getting it off the kick. So this is what I've been watching, bro. Motherfuckers just fan around. It's literally one-on-one. You get beat, somebody helps, and then boom, and then it's just fanning around. Yeah. That's all it is. If you have a good fanning defense, you can like survive. Yeah. But if you have like an air pocket to get the shot off, like clean is going in.
No doubt.
But now, like with Steph, off the dribble, you got 5 people outside of 3. Like the help is different than when you had somebody slipping, somebody popping to the elbow. Like it's a lot different.
He's also older by years.
Yeah,
like,
I get what you're saying. Like it takes more for him to be effective.
But he's still playing well. I'm not saying that.
But I think that's the game guarding.
I can see like when you see LeBron, you're like, yeah, that motherfucker tired. Like I can see that in Steph too now. Like he tired. Like he working for that 30 that he getting right now. Like and to have to do that with no help, then it's like, bro, like you ain't.
It is a little frustrating seeing him trying to like, it's just if he's not on the floor.
It's over.
It's a wash.
Yeah,
it's over.
It's a wash for the team.
And it sucks because, like you said, like they're not giving him any help. Meanwhile, like I don't think he's somebody who's just like, how there's some people who like kind of like are given the nod of like, yeah, you're the guy, but if you were on another team, you really wouldn't be the guy. Like you just have a legacy with this team, so we're gonna let you rock out. Like some.
You say that for Draymond? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's maybe a fair example.
4 years, $100 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So even that's a really good example actually. But I feel like with Steph actually, like that's not the case. I think he could do what he's doing on another team and be leading.
I don't think he can. Only because
you don't think so?
Yeah,
I think he can.
Only because that's not what he would want. No, that's the only reason why he couldn't do it.
You put him on like the Miami Heat or something. Like,
I don't think he would go to a Miami Heat or go to.
No, I don't think he would. But I'm just saying he's not. He's still at. Like, I feel bad for him with the way Golden State is building, because it's probably going to take another 2 to 3 years.
Are they building?
Are
they building?
They're trying, like with some of the young talent they have, but
I don't see it.
The window is closed, man.
You think it's closed now? All right.
His
well, that's
closed.
why I'm saying I feel bad, because he's still like super productive and could be.
His window's closed.
He could be in like finals runs, but
how
just
many more years
not on this team. I think he got like 3 or 4.
He can play another 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the championship window when everybody like maximized Steph Curry's career. I think that shit is over.
Yeah.
Because you can't rebuild into a new team that's going to get you back to the finals next year. Like,
he's got 4 rings. He could go for it. He can go chase a couple more rings.
He ain't going to want to do that elsewhere.
Yeah.
From what I understand of Steph. So
he's a 2-time NBA, most valuable player. If he could sneak another MVP or 2,
he's not getting no more.
I don't think he'll get MVPs, but
he's definitely not getting no more.
He's
MVPs.
still close to 30 points a game, though, for sure.
Nah, no more MVPs for him.
Okay,
you got Jokic still, who's top considerations every year for the past 3 years. You got Luka still, who's going to be in the MVP conversation this year. You got crash out Jason Tatum now this year. Like, a lot of people that I'm putting on that list before Steph.
Well, he'd have to do something monumental anyway, just off the strength.
You got to get that team in the playoffs and like a 4 or 5 seed to even warrant possibly getting like an MVP consideration for me.
Yeah, because anything he does that's like impressive is going to be, we've already seen it at this point. So he'd have to do something pretty monumental.
You're playing against yourself too. Like, it's hard to like outdo the greatness you've already portrayed for so long, and you're getting older. So
I'm thinking if he could just sneak 1 or 2 more.
It's over, man. 1 or 2 or anything more is over. Yeah. He's just gonna be great for the last few years.
Not
and
in Golden
State
out
as the best shooter ever.
Not in Golden State.
Like, no shade to Steph.
Does he land on a Mount Rushmore if he gets another MVP or another ring?
Yeah, I think he does.
I mean, some people got him up there already.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's already like questionably the best point guard of all time.
Some people got him up there already.
The Mount Rushmore is at 4 heads, so.
Yeah.
If he's up there, then who's coming off that?
I ain't even getting into that.
No,
talk
I'm just
right
saying.
now.
Like, I don't think he's up there yet.
But I've heard some people's like
that's wild.
And some people who under 30, they putting Steph up there, which I can understand for what they viewed in their life. Like,
yeah, I guess
Steph
so.
is that guy. Like, especially we talked about that shit all the time. He changed the way basketball is played. Like right now, we're watching a product of this man. Impact on the
trying
NBA.
to be emulated.
But that's to the detriment of the league. Let's not.
Sure, but
let's
again,
not say
like
that.
when you talk about Mount Rushmore shit, like it's people putting him up there just because like look what he's accomplished and look how the game is mimicked off of what he does well. So there's a lot of people and younger kids putting stuff up there in their top 4 or 5, whatever you want.
I'm curious to what the EFS family got to say.
There's a different story, and no shade to Steph, but he's lower on my list, But I do respect the greatness.
Top 4 for me, not top 4.
But yeah, Steph is up there for a lot of people.
He's up there. Maybe he might even be 5th, but not top 4.
Yeah, I don't,
personally. Personally.
That aside, man, we'll move forward from there. A lot of hoop on that one, but interesting week, I guess, as far as the whole HBCU thing.
HBCU, baby.
D-Jack.
2 most notable new
Shouts
coaches
to DSU.
in the
Shouts to
HBCU
Shouts to Lincoln.
pipeline. Michael Vick at Norfolk State, and then Desean Watson at Jackson, sorry. The other Desean. Desean Jackson, excuse me, at Delaware State University. Anything, you guys feel about that one? Thoughts? You posted something about it.
Clap it up, man. Let's get these men.
Clap it up for that.
You know what? I go back to Desean, man. What he did. They went pretty long. I said I give it up to Desean. What he did with Jackson State and then Colorado, and just taking, I guess, a vision of what something could be and having it like build upon, and everybody just loved what happened with Colorado. And now other people are like, we gotta get on board. We gotta really kind of like maximize bringing in some of these legends of the game into our programs to kind of reignite the love of the game of football, and also bring eyes and attention to the schools. And I think it's going to work out pretty well. Whether it works out to like championships and all that, I don't know. But generating more love of the game of football, making more people be more engaged with some of the colleges. I think it's going to have a net positive effect on a lot of things, especially when it's centered around the HBCUs. So I give it a good thumbs up.
I mean, shouts to that. I ain't gonna step on it.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I think first time head coaches is a little tricky.
Yeah, there it is. I ain't gonna step on anything. Steps right on it.
Especially for football.
I'm not gonna step on the opportunity. Like, not at all. Like,
yeah, that's beautiful.
Black man, get your opportunities, get your money, get your impact, whatever you're looking for. Go ahead. Desean Jackson shit was a little. That one surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, that's where I was at with it. Like, I'm super happy for everybody, but I'm like. I don't know, like, their coaching. Like, obviously they're great players, but I don't know, like, their level of intellect when it comes to, like,
Michael Vick even greater than Desean Jackson. To me, like,
Yeah, and I just don't know, like, when it comes to, like, the day-to-day operation. I don't know. Like, they don't have a track record of coaching, so I don't know. Yeah. I'm glad they got the opportunity. I'm sure it'll create more buzz for each school since they are smaller HBCUs.
Yeah, everybody is not Deion.
But like you said, like, some of them is just like Desean. I didn't even know Desean Jackson was trying to be a coach. I thought he was, like, obsessed with his podcast. Like,
it's a dream come true.
All
man.
that stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
And no shade. Like, it's a great thing. Like, it's a great thing for. I just didn't know, like. I don't know. You present an image on, like, your podcast too, so it's just like
I had no clue he had ambitions to coach until.
That's what I'm saying, because of, like, how, like, loose and stuff. Like, for me at least, how loose the podcast. Like, I didn't even know you were. Like, I don't know. When you're a coach, it's like you have to uphold, like, a certain image, and
they want you to button up a little bit.
Yeah, you have to. Like, to some degree, you have to be professional.
But I think is that probably work at a school like DSU too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I mean, if it's a school that's like, I bet, because we're going to give you the opportunity, I think it's DSU. If we're talking about, HBCUs and shit.
I mean, their football team has been down for a while, to say the least.
Pro Bowler.
The facilities.
It's a win. We're just going to get some people to come watch the game. Or
yeah, I mean, it'll create some camaraderie for sure.
Like, that's the biggest win for them is people going to come watch the game. We created some noise.
Well, it goes to what we were talking about earlier. Like, there's just too much money in views. You know what I mean? Just like anybody can watch something, but is it good? You know what I mean?
So we're gonna see how it turn out.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not either, but it is surprising, and it's just like I
ain't mad at it at all. Mike Vick, shouts to him. He's been through a lot with the whole dog shit, so it's good to see him getting a little bit more love from the powers that be as far as opportunities and stuff. You know, he never really lost good favor with the black people, but I guess. In that other realm. But, shouts to everybody. Get your money. It's 2025. Get your opportunity. Get your whatever. Put on. We'll see how it turns out. I ain't got too much to say about it other than just being a little,
I'm mad how you got it. I'm mad how you got his name wrong at first, too, after what he did at the Meadowlands.
I definitely. No, stop.
That should be one motherfucker that you remember.
Stop.
If there's going to be anybody on the Eagles that you remember, that should be one of them.
All this slander on the couch
taking
today,
it back
man. What's
to a
going
different
on
time
here, man?
when I had more, respect for the competition between the ball clubs.
Yeah,
yeah.
My bad. You know me. I'm always throwing my
And then
jabs.
they got his ass out of there anyway. So
Man, listen. You already know Chip Kelly was the motherfucker that got him out of there, and he does not represent us.
Chip Kelly don't represent y'all.
No.
That was one of y'all worst coaches as far as the fit for the city.
No shit.
Yeah, Philly's a different beast anyway.
He got rid of everybody we love, bro. And Michael Vick too.
Facts. Michael Vick was in the city too.
That jackass.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to throw my jab and derail you a little bit, but yeah, props to Michael Vick.
I'm not triggered that bad.
Good.
What we got up next, man? You want to talk about it? This is your.
I mean, yeah, it was an interesting thing. I mean, you want to play that audio?
I don't got the audio. Send me something.
I thought you had the audio for that.
No, I had the other one, which ties into it. But send me.
Let me see. You got TikTok on there or no?
Do I got TikTok on here?
Yeah, on
your. But I probably could find it real quick. Y'all talk. Just introduce and I'll pull it up.
So the convo was predicated on. So we said Jeff Teague, right? Talking about
520 podcast.
Yeah, the 520 Boys podcast. And they was talking about if Asia Wilson could compete against a male G League player or D1 player.
D1.
Was that what it was revolved around? So it makes an interesting convo.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
Oh, you got it?
Nobody
Go ahead.
in NBA. No.
That might get spooked. Not one.
They did a whole. We talking bench players, everybody.
Nigga, do y'all know niggas on the bench used to average 40 in high school and nigga 20 in college?
It's funny because she was on the Knicks niggas podcast. It was like Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. She was just like,
if me and you play Josh Hart, who gonna win the game? He said, me? She's like 11-7. He's like, me 11, right? And they just had like a really funny joke about it. She was just like, nah, I'll get y'all up out of here. He just like, nah, let's not joke about that. Yeah, let's not play around, bro. Like, niggas really gonna beat your ass. Like,
the top WNBA player is not beating the 12th man.
Not, you know, she's not beating a nigga in the G League. So.
You get the idea. So, what's your thoughts, man? What
say you, Waldo Black?
What say you, Waldo Black?
This is your contribution. You wanted to get this off.
I just always get. It's always interesting. It's always interesting to see these kind of things. Like, what's the format of the game? Like, because I think that when we go into these conversations,
don't matter.
If we got to do all that,
hold on. Like, you gonna let me have it or not? Like,
go ahead.
I didn't say not one word. Yeah,
you asked me first, but then you started going a different place with it. But go ahead.
I said you gave me the floor. If I have the floor, I'm gonna say something. If not, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
In 2025, I'm gonna stop doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I was saying is,
we'll see.
EFS family, I think it's important for us to kind of preface this with some kind of like, what rules are we working in? Is it a straight up shoot 'em out? I think she could beat him in horse. I think she could beat him in other aspects of the technical side of the game. Yeah, I think she could do it. And not every player is going to be as technically sound as Asia is, as she's at the elite level of her game. Now, that being said, if we going in dog eat dog, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a more physical aspect to men's game. So I think that when we just go out and blanketly make statements like, oh, she ain't beating the 99th nigga on the, it's like, all right, clickbaity. It's a little clickbaity. Let's dial it back. Let's have a real educated conversation. We're talking about Angel Wilson here, the best in her league, going up against a G League player. You telling me she can't beat Bronny James in a shootout? I think she can. And that's all I'm saying.
Let me give you can I give an educated opinion on it?
Go ahead, sure.
She would get fucking tore up by every one of these dudes, bro.
Bronny would eat her ass alive.
You could do horse, you could do comp, you could do shoot, still gonna get killed. We watched game 5, didn't we? Holy shit. Yo, that was some bad basketball at a lot of points.
That's fair. That's fair.
We did.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think...
And if we got to introduce a whole bunch of other rules to give her a shot at the competition, then that just goes to show she's not beating nobody head up. Like,
yeah.
You know?
No, that's why I was saying the head up. The head up is one thing.
Black women out there doing a thing. Do not take the EFS podcast for that. Like, we ain't even trying to tear y'all down in that. We're like, come on.
No, this is just basketball
You're
talk
a girl,
exclusively.
I'm a man. We have physical things that are different. Like,
right. I'm gonna be the only one on the couch. I'm in my minority port. You know?
Faster, jump higher, stronger by almost double. If you want to like talk for real, like if you want to talk men versus women's strength, we're 2 times as strong as them. Maybe not everybody, but on average, men are just about 2 times as strong as women. Like that's if you played an actual basketball game, sure. And I'm not going to say I haven't seen some girls go against dudes and fare well.
Right.
You got to talk about the dudes they're going against.
Yeah, we're not talking about
put
regulars.
That out there.
Like,
Am I saying Angel Wilson can't walk into the Lifetime Fitness right now and beat some of the dudes on that court?
Lifetime Fitness.
No, I'm not saying that because in that level of basketball, that elite, you would figure she would fare well.
Yeah,
we're talking about
for sure.
NBA or professional level athletes in the like Angel Williams, she not beating a bunch of dudes overseas still. Like, it's just different. The women's game is different. The men's game is different, you know.
It's predicated on different things.
It is.
Big time.
There's a lot of tactics in the women's game just because there's not that much athleticism.
Yeah.
But if you put Angel Wilson in front of a lot of the people you can think of,
that's what I'm saying.
They're blowing by her physically.
Right.
She's not going to be able to move as quickly laterally. If she's they're going up top to the rim, they're jumping higher than her. They're jumping through her. Like all that shit.
I'm not saying they not.
And
that was never my argument.
No shade to Angel Wilson because I've given you a lot of love on this podcast.
Yeah,
so
no, she's a beast. She's a beast.
You know, shouts to the Jet, all that shit. You got your shit now. Your shoe is coming, they say. So all that salute. Because you know, you're doing big things in the women's game. But, you know, let's not get
carried away.
I still stand on my hill. I come down on this one. I'm going to die on this one.
So you think head up one-on-one.
That's not what I said.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying
Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu like situation, a shootout or something like that?
There's certain shootout formats. I think that when you level set the game, so you're not getting the advantage of the physical aspects, that these women could fare probably just as good. If
Yes,
not better
I mean,
but that is what we saying. Like,
skill-wise,
if you got to
yeah.
do all that, then that means head up is not fair.
Right.
It's just not going to be fair.
No,
and
I know
think that's
that.
what they're operating under. Is like, listen, if you put on the court in a
One-on-one,
regular one-on-one
1v1,
situation,
yeah.
like without you got to shoot threes the whole time, and I can penetrate, and you can't. And like you put those other little rules into it, then that's a different story. She might get lucky, not even get lucky. She might have a better advantage of winning the game. But if you're talking about head up, a regular like one-on-one competition is over.
Yeah, not even close.
It's over.
And I say that emphatically, not to discredit her, because she's like one of the GOATs for sure. You could already see it. But when it comes to her versus pro NBA level players, it's not even close.
It's over.
And this is somebody who's coached women's basketball for a very long time.
I might be stronger, faster, and jump higher than Angel Wilson by a lot right now. Still,
That's not a foregone conclusion.
I want to see
serious.
it. If you're telling me if I can get a hold of Asia to do a one-on-one with you, you'll
serious.
Do it. You'll do it.
I got her in the weight room for sure. Like I'm
asking you. I'm asking you. What I'm saying
in the weight room, I got it. If you want to put us through the agility test or whatever, I'm betting that I'm probably gonna outlast her physically.
If I can figure out a way to get Angel Wilson to play you one-on-one, you down.
I mean,
look, you're getting quiet over there now.
I'm not opposed to the competition.
Okay, all right. You say you
that
can get
wasn't
her.
What I said.
You said you could get her.
That wasn't what I said. I said I run faster, jump higher, and all that other shit than Angel Wilson right now. I didn't say skill-wise, my skills is tight enough to, but yeah, you give me a couple, if I know I'm playing her, give me 2-3 weeks or some shit like that, set the date out, yeah.
All right, we're going to work this out. I'm going to call Asia.
Yeah.
Pick up when I call. That's what I'm saying. Pick up when I call, Asia.
Because as soon as I get outside them hips and we got to go downhill, like no freaky shit. Like as soon as I get outside them hips and I'm attacking downhill, it's over.
Yeah. All right, we'll see.
It's over. Like
we'll see. It's gonna
if I get a step on Asia, it's over. Meet me at the rim. Let's see how high you jump. Let's see how you 6'3", I'm 6'8".
Listen, I will charge tickets and do it for charity.
I don't care how in shape you are, or like you 6'3", I'm 6'8".
Yeah.
It's just physically different.
As I said, there's just certain physical attributes you just can't overcome.
It's just physically different.
Genetics
she
and
can
biology.
ball, man. Don't sleep on her.
No, she can.
Sleep on her.
You can ball against girls. Like you can ball against girls, and you're very, very good at that. And I'm not shouting. I'm not saying anything is wrong with the level that you are at in your game. Like in your game, you the dawn on the women's game right now. It's your time. Salute to all that shit. But when you put up, you got what that with guys is completely different.
Yeah,
guys that actually play the game, work out, and ain't just like the people that smoke cigs and then got to come to the shit in the gym just to get their cardio in and all that shit. Like, nah, that's different. That's definitely completely different. You take that shit to somewhere else, but nah, when it comes to real athletes, nah. You know.
But if we talking women's players, she definitely like the best. The best right now.
Right
for
now,
sure.
past 4, I want to say 4 years, ain't nobody touching Angel Wilson.
Not even close.
But again, the women's game, you know,
right?
The 520, they even had an interesting conversation about that. We're gonna get to the whole Charleston White shit. You want to touch on that quick? I ain't touching it. I ain't touching it.
All right, then you gotta touch it.
Yeah, I can. I just ain't gonna have no take because you know,
without context, they won't know either. So we gotta find that.
They know.
You got that one? Hold on. I want to see if they got that. I got
it's
that
long.
Hold on.
I ain't trying to go that whole clip because they sitting there talking for a long time.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out because they don't understand the.
Charleston White says she should go dunk in her panties or whatever. Okay. Like, you know, he says some sexually, whatever you want to call it, things about her. So.
I mean, I'm always finding a problem. Like, I don't know, man. It's just always it's a bad look.
We always
like. I feel like if it's not society, it's us as men. Black men in specific, you know what I'm saying, sexualizing our women. Like, it's just like, come on, man. Like, why? That's the first route we go to. The first thing we gonna talk about. There's so many other aspects we could spin it to. And I'm not even saying that she is not even being more like flirtatious in her promo. She has a right to do that. But I'm saying how we attach and tell her, nah, that's what you should do. Go do that. It's like, come on, dog. Yeah, you get to a bag, but where's the integrity? Where is the self-respect? You ain't gonna say that to our kids. We ain't gonna say that to, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna tell our kids that if that was, you know, Angel Reese, our little sister, Angel Reese, our niece, oh, yo, go dunk in your panties, right? So it's off-putting, man. It's off-putting. That's why I was like, these cats is crazy. And that's why I look at Charleston White. I'm like, as soon as I hear him, I'm like, he's gonna say something crazy.
Yeah, you already know.
For clickbait. I already know what kind of dude he is. He a clickbait kind of dude, and he could believe everything he says, but everything he says isn't worth believing. So it's like, or believing in.
Yeah.
So it's just like another story.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's a bad look. It's super like degrading and just disgusting.
It's weird, man.
And I think Angel Reese, like, she has a right to like move how she wants. She's a young lady, like at that age where you're trying to find yourself, and you might do some things that ain't so tasteful for the public eye or whatever. But like, she's allowed to do.
Still
what she
better
wants.
than Travis Hunter, girl. So
that's what I'm saying. She's allowed to do what she wants. She's single. Last I be hearing, she's single, so she can move freely, and she's riding the wave of being like a public popping figure. And for somebody who's in the WNBA, where you're not making these $300 million contracts, she's allowed to like jump into some other shit to get some bread. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with it. She ain't harming nobody.
She got the Reese's
she's staying,
Puff too.
Yeah, she's staying true to who she is at her core, and like I don't knock stuff like that. Like, if she wants to, be a little dainty and girl, like, let her be that. If she wants to dress a little provocative, let her do that.
But there's not a podcast that I know of, like, of white dudes sitting around saying, "Oh, Caitlin Clark should go dunk in her panties." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, Caitlin Clark doesn't like present herself.
Caitlin Clark
in that
ain't
kind of
out
way
there,
either.
But that's what I'm saying.
Moving
like,
around in that manner.
But it's not. It's two things happening. One is, how is Angel moving versus Caitlin, which is totally valid. Angel doesn't move like Caitlin. We know that. But is that a byproduct of how we see, or how society sees black women versus how society sees white women? And I think that's the undertone is, would Caitlin even be able to move as Angel moves? Like, in society's view, would she get more attention moving like the way Angel's moving, or is she better off getting the attention she's getting in the way she's moving she is now? That's a whole nother conversation for another day. I'm just saying, I think I look at, the sexualization of Angel as like, yes, she's a beautiful young lady who's got a lot of money already and is on a large platform. We have a platform now. Now we're going to double down on what she's already doing. Or we're going to say, Angel, you an angel. Move like one. Like, come on. Like, we can do two different things. You're going to get backlash and attention and clickbait on either one. I think you could have, I'm not telling them how to do their podcast. That's what they want to do. What I'm saying is, when I'm looking at that situation, I'm like, that wasn't the way to move. But again, you look who you're talking about. You're talking about Charleston. So it's like, he don't care. He's there for the click.
Yeah,
he's gonna
say the most extreme
thing.
Yeah,
he's
possible.
gonna say that. So it's like, this is why I have a hard time for the toxic culture.
And
we
said
got
I wasn't gonna say much on it, but fuck it, we hit down. Like,
there you go.
Like, why we still listen to Charleston White? Like,
I know, like, why is he even still around? Like, he's a fucking goofball.
We still listen to Charleston White when he says anything that's like clickbaity or just that strong to keep people up in arms and shit like that. For me, it's like, if you really feeling that much of offense about what he said, like, you should check his track record. Like, I'm numb when he say any wild shit now, because I'm like, either you really believe that shit and you wild, or you just saying shit to get popping, So
that's what it looks like to me.
That's just number one. And the second thing from that is, like, I do see what he's trying to insinuate by saying what he said, And it's not to say control women's bodies or tell them what to do, tell them like all this shit, but he does bring up a point that some people have kind of thought that Angel Reese moves around a little like hot girlish, and live how you want.
Right.
Live how you want, But judging by off of the point you just had with the whole Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese thing, like, Angel don't got to move like that to get attention.
She doesn't.
She doesn't have to move like that to get attention. Like, we just named a woman who does all the right things on the basketball side and doesn't have that kind of persona and moves in a very, like, I'm classy, this is that, whatever way. Angel Wilson. Like, Angel Wilson. You don't never hear about the most thing we heard about her personal life and all that shit was now the dating Bam Adebayo thing, which is still pretty quiet. They ain't really making a public thing of it. And it's like, my personal life is my personal life. What I do behind closed doors ain't for y'all public consumption. My body, my this, my that, whatever. And even the way she dresses is still, for women nowadays, it's like, still free and owning the fact that you're a woman and all that shit, but it comes off very differently than what Angel Reese does. You know, and it's not to knock Angel Reese because, again, like you said, she's young. She has her own way of going about things. She got a podcast. She's doing this. She's doing that. Dress how you want. Live how you want. Cool. I do think Charleston White has a viewpoint of her that I can see why he thinks that way. There's a lot of other people that say it, and he's just going to be the one that says things that other people say over the top to get attention, you know. And, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to stay a little bit further away from it than leaning into the situation just because I ain't, you know, trying to go too hard on young black women. But, you know, I do see what he was trying to say from a level of, like, look underneath the cloudy part of it, you know, as distasteful as it was and distasteful as it sounds. And the number two thing for me from before what I said, number one, and then into my next point, she's mad young compared to Charleston White. So, you know, that's a little creepy too.
She's mad young compared to Asia. She's 20. Asia's 28, and she's 22.
That's not mad young compared to Asia. That's 6 years. Charleston White is 40 something, I think.
No, I'm saying, but you was talking earlier about how Asia moves without having to do that, but you got to let her. She's 22.
I know. That's what I said. She's young. She's 22. I'm not saying she has to be like that right now, but I think she's going about it in a way that she might not see and understand, like how to move with whatever level of class or whatever we're saying that comes with experience, that comes with life. Or maybe this is just her and she's just going to be the hot girl forever. Like, so, you know, you go about it one way or the other. You just got to live with what comes with it. Yeah. You know, and if it's that people saying like you like are sexualizing yourself, so now let's sell the sex to make it more popping for you because it looks like you out here trying to get to a bag, sell the sex to do it. Like, which is what men usually lean into because that's the easiest thing that connects with the masses. Yes. You know. So I understand we know what business. He's saying. Yes. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm going to tell her go dunk in her panties. Like, that's not my vibe, you know. Like, especially for a girl who I could be her uncle and all the other shit. Like, you know, my date range and age range, I don't get in the comments on young girls like that, you know. So that's just me. But I'm saying I do understand what he's saying from a perspective of, like, how she moves versus maybe someone who may be a quote-unquote a little bit more classy. But, again, she's going to learn what she got to learn in her own time, in her own way, or she not. And she's just going to continue to get money on y'all niggas' heads and say, fuck it, like, whatever. She got the right to live her life however she want to, but I do see what he was trying to insinuate, especially after the whole Shaq thing, which is what he said. Like, you know, like Shaq told her, go dunk in her panties. That's not exactly what Shaq said to her, but Charleston White, again, is going to go over the top to make it seem more, like, clickbaity and cloudy. And I can't blame 520, you know, just for, you know, they was trying to get a good interview off. He's going to say some shit on there that's going to spark some controversy. So, no shade to 520. I know they're getting beat up right now for having him on there.
Dating young women, too. Wow.
I mean, Shaq always, like, come on. Like, come on. Shaq track record is cemented, so we know what that is. We know what that is.
Cemented or demented? Never mind.
Shouts to everybody, man. Shouts to everybody. It's 2025. I want no smoke. So don't step on my growth. Don't step on my... That's a reach. That's a reach. Don't step on my growth. But don't, though, too, because that should have hurt. Moving forward, man, we'll get to our Real Talk segment before we get out of here.
Yes, sir.
2025, so the Real Talk is going to get super cliche today. And
What you got, man? What you got?
It is what it is. I'm into it, you know. New Year's is always a time for me to reflect and look back at what I've done, look forward to where I'm going. So I wanted to pose a question to y'all for Real Talk. You know, what were the most profound things that you may have learned this year? And discussing quickly, because we ain't got that much time, you know, any goals that you might have coming up for the year ahead of you as we are now in 2025 when they hear this broadcast. So, what y'all got?
I want to go first. This is a big order. Let me get some time. I got to prep.
You said you had time to prep. You should have sent
it to the group chat, man.
I did send it to the group chat.
You said the biggest takeaway is 2024?
Read the group chat.
You said the biggest takeaway of 2024?
Biggest takeaway from 2024 and something you want to implement, change, or just apply to your life in the year to come. Or the year we're in now at release of this broadcast again.
Yeah, I don't know, for 2024 for me, I think, you know, especially being like an avid listener of the podcast, like, and seeing you start all your stuff, for me, it was just like this year, really a good takeaway for me was like, when you really put your mind to it and utilize the resources available around you, a lot of things are a lot more possible than they seem. And I also learned a lot about like straying like doubt out of the window and focusing on like believing in myself a lot more in certain things. Because I think when you were talking about like a lot earlier in the year, talking about like this is the year to like do your own thing, and it kind of inspired me to try some new endeavors and stuff that maybe I didn't really give my full attention to when, in previous years and stuff. So it's allowed me to elevate and become better in a lot of ways and more grounded and more stable. So I think that's a good takeaway. Something that I want to carry into 2025 is probably just being more intentional just as a person and not letting that doubt creep in like at all. And then being more decisive and not like, I'm the type where like if I make like a decision, sometimes I gotta like think about it like a lot. So I do want to be more intentional, but also like conscious of not being impulsive either. Because I think that's where I struggle at sometimes when I do certain things off of impulse, good or bad. So I really want to like take my time and find that balance between like not being impulsive, but also like not being like delaying and be intentional too about certain things, if that makes sense.
Nah, for sure. I know what you mean.
So
I know what you
that's
mean.
where I'm at with it.
I think for me it's redoing my smile, man. Redoing my smile. It's a method that I did before.
Your smile.
Yeah, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna feed you.
Physical smile?
I'm gonna feed you, baby bird. You know what I mean? So anyway, the SMILE method, it's an acronym. SMILE. It stands for socializing, managing my home, income, leisure, and energy. And each thing you can kind of like set goals. Inside of them, it can be for the whole year, it can be for the next few months, it can be whatever. But I've done my SMILE several times in my life, and every time I do it, it always like helps me to like refocus and put things in perspective of what I want to attack and what I want to look at. So one of my goals for 2025 is to just redo my SMILE, because I did put things in there like I wanted to be married, I wanted to get a better job, I wanted to do, like I did all that, so now I got to look at it again and go, okay, what is my SMILE going to look like? And then it helps balance my life out a lot in terms of like, oh man, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, but if I can look at it and look down and say, oh, but I did take that time for myself. Or in the energy column is usually where I put all my, stuff about prayer and things like that. Oh, I did do these things and I, improved my relationship with the Lord. Like all of that is tied in, and it's a really good method for kind of making paths to a better future. So that's what my plan is and my goal is for 2025. 2024, I think the most profound piece of understanding I got is knowing that being a sinner doesn't mean you failed as a child of God. Like that was like a freeing understanding, because I make mistakes a lot, man. I'll tell you, I failed so many times and dropped the ball, and I'm like, yo, you're not supposed to live in shame. You're supposed to get back up, dust yourself off, ask for forgiveness, repent, and move forward. So I think that understanding is like, oh, okay, now I can maneuver without feeling guilt or shame attached to my relationship with the Lord. Like, you know what I mean? Some people like, oh, you're not perfect, but that's never was the goal. So
you don't have to be.
Yeah, you don't have to be perfect. That's why He died for our sins. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for making it out of 2024, seeing 2025, man. So. Yeah, appreciate it, man. If you want to let me get the floor, I'm going to go in. But if you want me to send you that, I can too. If you want me to see that SMILE stuff.
No, it's a good thing to be conscious of throughout the year for sure. About you, big man? What you got?
Me?
What you got, Dwayne?
Biggest takeaways I have for 2024 is that you can't rely on your circle to get you to grow. You got to reach outside of them. I said that here before, way early in the year, so they ain't take that long to get into 2024 and realize that. Next thing is that, and I guess the most profound thing, even more so than the last, is that you are capable of a lot of things outside of what you may even be like set your intentions on right away.
Facts. Big facts.
Like once you start getting the ball rolling on certain things that you want to do, you'll realize how much more you are capable of once you start.
Yeah.
And that for me has been the biggest thing to kind of power me through the year, was just learning everything, taking on new challenges, and then just put myself in an uncomfortable position and just say, all right, let's really put 2 feet on the ground as far as the life you see ahead of you, and then just start taking steps little one at a time towards that goal or what you see for yourself. And then throughout that, realizing that the power that you possess to be able to conquer, learn, and just embrace tasks, challenges, and just small little successes that come along the way, and then get back up from small little failures that happen along the way, like that. That is a powerful thing, and I think that has been my biggest takeaway from the year, and something that I definitely see continuing for myself internally going forward. Because once you realize there's power, it's kind of like the kid that like wants to touch the fire a little bit. It's like let's really see what this is, And sometimes you get burned, but at the end of the day, like you still keep that open mind, open like spirit to just grow, And I think that's where I'm at personally from what I learned from the year. Going forward, what I see that I want to implement is just being able to be a more effective leader, more effective person who manages time, because what I realized a lot this year was that I stretched myself very thin in a lot of different ways and learned a lot from it. But at the same time, it's like you can only commit to so many things at once. Yeah. So being able to manage time better is like kind of leaning into what you said too, like being intentional about what you do with your time and how you do things, is my main focus. Because, being more structured with my regiment as far as what I want to do business-wise, personal life, and everything like that is where the next step is for me. Because I get so crazy and it's just like work, and things coming up and doing this and that and all that other stuff that you don't really have time to like map out on a month-to-month basis, like what I'm doing next, and start to build out ideas to work towards little goals to then reach the bigger things, being able to have that, like that structure is going to be big for me going forward. And I think that's my next step as a person. And personally, just, creating better relationships with people, right. Not even just for the purpose of like financial gain or success, but realizing that those relationships that you're creating with people and real genuine individuals oftentimes are going to get you closer to the goals than you think, because sometimes we get so focused on like the bag, the opportunity, and the next thing to conquer, like I said a little bit earlier, that we don't forget that in order to reach those things, you're going to have to interact with a lot of people along the way. And a lot of people are going to either help you get to those successes, or they're not going to genuinely like lean into whatever your vision is because they don't feel like you're being genuine with them. Right. And people, I learned this a little bit earlier this year from, someone who was helping me with some business things and kind of like coaching me, that said people only really like to buy from people they like. Right. So if they don't like you, then you're not really putting yourself in position to attract the things that you want from the universe. So, creating good relationships with people, authentic, organic relationships with people to where it's not fake, and I can connect with people on a like real level, I think is one of the things that I'm focused on as well as the time management piece. So those two things are what I want to take forward into this next year as we move through 2025.
You got this, bro. You got this.
No, that's real good. I'm excited for both y'all, because I know you were, before we got like started, you were talking about like everything you got going on. So that's super exciting. And to know you as long as I've known you, to see you take like your obsessive personality with basketball and be able to transition it into something that's like giving back to you, like with your spirit and all that, is really cool for me to see, because I feel like when you first did retire, like you had to like really put that obsession into stuff that tended to your responsibilities, not necessarily everything that was always given back to you. Yeah. So I feel like this is definitely bringing out like a really, really cool side of you and everything, and I'm excited.
Glad of that, Not even to pat myself on the back, like just off of that, because it happened 3 times today, like out of nowhere.
I commend you, like, bro. Trust me.
3 people before that, because you'll be the 4th probably, but like I'm one man who I've like known for a long time, and we connect a lot on like business ideas and stuff. We spoke this morning on the phone, And just in the conversation, like randomly, it was like, bro, like I need to tell you that, you know, like you should be proud of yourself, proud of everything you're doing. Like what you're doing ain't easy. This is that, whatever. Like really giving me like a good, like affirming confirmation, like talk like that. Like, you know, for me, like that was like big. And then randomly after that, somebody else said it because somebody that I work with, like, you know, we was talking scheduling for like how she's going to go forward with the next couple of months and her schedule changing. And then in the conversation, randomly, we was just speaking about me. And then she was like, you know, I wanted to say, like, you know, that you, like everything you're doing is dope and I salute you. And I wish I had the courage to do this and that like you're doing. I'm like, damn, like that's another one. That's crazy. Another one was well, you know, Eric, Kimmy's husband. We was talking about some other stuff and he was like, bro, what you're doing is so inspirational and all that other stuff. So I'm like, damn, like, that for me, even if it don't mean like I make $1 off of those comments, like it starts the train of like the little drops in the bucket. That's like, oh, like you connecting with people in a real way. And for me, like we talked about with the clickbaity, cloudy shit, I'm not going that way just because that's gonna get me closer to whatever I think the overall goal is for me, dollar-wise, viewers-wise, engagement-wise, all that other shit. Like, to me, that game is like, if you down to play that game, cool, but then you're willing to basically move to whatever's the hottest thing, and then you're always chasing that rather than chasing, not even chasing, like, just being organic and being you, and then having people connect with you off of who you are, and not like, this is some clown, fake, like motherfucker like that. Like you're dealing with the real individuals with real perspectives. And for me, I always want to be that first. And then whoever rock with me, rock with me. Now I know I'm not for everybody. Like you can't be for everybody in life.
And everybody's not for you.
Exactly. You know. And for me, that's where the real power comes into play for just like doesn't like off of what I just said, like realizing that you have powers, like damn, like people really like giving me they words of encouragement, and I ain't even asked for that shit.
Right.
You know, I'm not depressed. I'm not like, you know, in a state of my life where I gotta like have people lifting me up and all other shit.
Right.
But it's like it's good to hear sometimes just because it lets you know that you're doing the right things and the things that you set out to do that really are starting to little by little show you like, yo, just keep going because you know these are some of the things that are the realest part of the journey.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what I say too. It's like a tip of the hat because real recognize real. But I say this year more than any, I've been more focused on the journey and not destination driven, which I've been like in the past, and all that Kobe stuff like be surfacing when I really like think like that, because I'm like, dang, like it is about the journey. You're supposed to just enjoy this fucking ride and make it the best, and not like I think when you obsess about like results and stuff, that's where it can get like impatient. But just like you said, like you don't need the acknowledgement, but just a little tip of the hat here and there is enough to keep you going.
Some little reminders on the way. It's just like, all right,
just
cool.
like a little drop of gas on the fire, and eventually you get enough drops of that gas, it's gonna be a big ass inferno. Facts. I like that.
No doubt, man. But yeah, man, thanks for sharing 100%.
Yes, sir.
New Year is upon us. If you made it this far into the broadcast, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll deliver our quote for you on the way out. It is my turn, so I'm back on the mic for our quote. It's funny that y'all said, well, Drew said earlier, you got to get on your Winston Churchill, because my quote today was actually from Winston Churchill.
Was it?
Yeah, and I didn't want to say anything earlier. I think that happened off mic for y'all that are listening or watching. But the quote today is pretty simple. It says, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And that is from Winston Churchill. And simple, you probably heard that one before, but really let that seep in. And, you know, I said this earlier, was it on mic or someone who was like, this game, like, or just the path that I'm taking isn't really about who is like the hottest or the strongest out the gate, but sometimes it's like who could really last the longest through the journey. You know?
Who's built to last?
All the ups and downs and missteps and all the shit that goes wrong where your hard drive crashes and all like, bro, like, you know, shit get pretty hectic sometimes. But, you know, it's all about really persevering through all of that and then making sure that you're putting yourself in position mentally first, and then, you know, in the position moves wise and steps wise to be able to attract the things that you really want. So it ain't gonna be an overnight thing, and if it is, then it don't really mean that much in the long term. So, you know, definitely keep on pushing for those of you out there, and push through this year, man, because I've been saying it all fourth quarter, third quarter of last year. It's time, man. All of you guys who are the hustlers, the entrepreneurial spirit people, like, trust me, it ain't the easiest path, but everybody can't do it. And if it's in your spirit, if it's in your heart, step out there, take that leap, man, and we rock this thing out together for sure.
Most definitely.
But with that said, EFS Podcast will close our first offering of the New Year's. We're going to hit a year officially mid-January, so that'll be a dope thing to take note of and commemorate in some kind of way. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out. But we're almost at a year in with this thing, and we're going to keep this thing moving to the moon, like we said the first episode when we put out. So for now, please do not forget to guard yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and all things in between in this crazy world. EFS Podcast, episode number 45 is out.
05.
Peace.
Boom, boom, boom. Got you.